What is going on, you guys? Hope y'all are doing well this Friday morning. I have 20 cards here that I want to show you before we kick off the weekend, but I did have some things I want to talk about. I just had the Monster 2.0 commissioned. For those of you that have been following me for a little bit, I had something I called the Monster. About 3 years ago. I had it made about 8 years ago or so, maybe 10 years ago. And it's kind of like Mike Moynihan's The Beast. It was kind of funny. He had that made, heck, I don't even know how long ago. But when he had that made, I'd never heard of or seen anything that was like what I call baseball card furniture. And so he had that made, and at the time I was stationed in Virginia Beach, and there was an Amish furniture store there. And so I went and talked to them and commissioned them to make something, and it was the Monster. And dude, that thing was a monster. Like, it was so, it was too big. It was ridiculous. And so getting back into this collecting path and all that, I really liked that the Monster was just too big. So now we have the Monster 2.0, and it's supposed to be here in like 8-9 weeks. They're making it from scratch. So it's wild, because back when Mike's dad made his and I had mine commissioned, like, I didn't know anyone else that had anything like that. And now there's companies that do it. You're seeing them more and more. So I think that's pretty cool. I just got my YouTube July not subscriber, but like update email. I'm sure a lot of y'all get them too. And it was pretty interesting. I'm not one of those guys that tracks views or tracks subscribers. I really don't track subscribers. The view count on a video does catch my attention. For me, if it's like at 300 views or more, I know, like, man, I did pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good video for me. Like, people must have really enjoyed that. And so I would say, like, for me, like 250 is like normal. But it said I had 23 uploaded items in July and like 49 subscribers, new subscribers, which I thought was insane, because I'll just call it 50. I didn't have 50 new subscribers in all of last year. So that's wild. Funny how that works, huh? You upload items, but the more items you upload, the more people will follow you. Crazy how that works, I know. So I'm not really going anywhere with that. I just thought that was kind of interesting. And the last thing I want to talk about, and I guess I'm noticing it because I'm in that collecting world now, but late 90s refractors of mid to low tier Hall of Famers, I'm like really shocked at the price of these things. I just seen a 1999 Billy Wagner Topps Chrome Refractor end on an auction for $42. Yeah, Billy Wagner. It's not a rookie, it's not a second, it's not a third year. So I thought that was wild. And I could give more examples, but I won't bore you. So I guess, I don't know if that's becoming a thing now. More people collecting, late 90s, lower end guys. I mean, not that there's anything lower end about a Hall of Famer, but not the superstars. If so, that would suck. And if you're collecting that way, stop, please, so I can buy mine cheaper. I'm kidding, of course, but I'm kind of not. So we'll turn this thing around. I got 20 cards to show you here, and so we will try to get this weekend started off with some shine, baby. Okay, here we go. We're suited up. We're ready to rock and roll. We're going to kind of mosey through these pretty quick because, like I said, there's 20 of them. And so I'm not going to do too much talking. One thing that's really starting to drive me nuts and that really pop out on refractors, it's just like surface scratches. I think these things are a little bit more prone to scratching than just a lot of like base cards or maybe flagship, like Topps flagship. How many of you guys remember Pujols, man, when he was with the Angels before he went to the Cardinals? That dude was an absolute animal, man. Like, he was a scary hitter, man. He really, really was. So good. And then he got to St. Louis, and he was still really good for the first couple of years. But he kind of petered out there. Todd Helton, when he was playing towards the beginning part of his career, and he was quite the TTMer. Like, he signed his fan mail quite a bit back then. And he's another guy that I watched his entire career. And I never really thought like, yep, he's a Hall of Famer. I always knew he was incredible and an amazing hitter. But I think a lot of people, maybe it's just my ignorance, I'm not sure. I think a lot of people chalked a lot of that up to him playing at Coors Field. But really, just a great pure hitter. Freddie Freeman. Remember when he moved to the Dodgers? And keep in mind, I'm not an Atlanta Braves fan and I'm not a Dodgers fan. But I have been a fan of Freddie Freeman for quite a while. I just like how he, presents himself, how he holds himself in the media and all that. He always talks about his wife and his kids and so on. Good family man. But I remember when he went to the Dodgers or signed with the Dodgers. In case I hadn't told you in a video lately, I hate this design. I think I told you that in the last video. Can't stand it. But when he moved to the Dodgers, I felt so betrayed. This guy from Atlanta, he built up his name there, kind of like a country boy, I felt. And then, boom, man, he went to LA, and he's from California. I had to check that out. And I remember a lot of them talking about that when he did that. But man, that dude I thought was going to end up being Mr. Brave, and that has not been the case. But dude, did he ever make the right decision? He has really took his career to the next level since becoming a Dodger. Some somewhat early Max Scherzer. I think there's really no question about him being a future Hall of Famer. Love this design. Gorgeous card, man. 2019. Might think about working on that set, maybe. I got like 3 sets I'm working on right now to include the 2026. So the last thing I need is another set idea, but man, I really like that 2019 design. Joe Mauer. I wonder, I'm just kind of, thinking out loud here, passing the time. Wonder if Justin Morneau would ever get some Hall of Fame consideration. When I think Joe Mauer, I think of Justin Morneau. Like when I think Biggio, I think Bagwell. And I don't know, it feels kind of weird, like you can't have one without the other. Those dudes, for a little while there in Minnesota, man, they were just nasty as all get out. Try to pick up Ichiros when I can. They're still relatively cheap. Gorgeous card, man. These refractors, you really don't see much of the purple, when you're just looking at them in the light. But man, when I get them under these insanely bright lights, man, it's gorgeous. That's why sometimes I like pause and I almost forget I'm making a video. Seeing those colors on camera, just gorgeous. Miggy, this little guy doesn't have too much shine. But I've always kind of liked this design. It's not one of my favorites, but I do like it. With the balls up here at the top, it makes me feel like the 1970s a bit. It's the 2008. And then another Miggy. Speaking of Miggy, those of you that commented on the Taco Fractor video, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I really enjoyed making that video, and the little thumbnails and the photos that I put in the video. And it's been a long time since I like really enjoyed making a video. Like, was like kind of giddy while I was making it, having fun. But that one, man, I really had a blast making. And so those of you that watched it and commented, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And that is the last one. One thing, I guess this might be an Easter egg. If you are a Rangers guy or an Adrian Beltre guy, which I think there's probably like 2 of them that watch this video, that is. If you know Adrian Beltre, you know he cannot stand his head touched. Cannot stand it. And if you look in the background there, you can see it looks like this dude is about to touch his head. So there's a bunch of funny videos of him, and I believe it's Elvis. Oh my goodness, I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. It starts with an A. He's their shortstop. Is it Astoris? Something like that. Anyways, when they were playing together, Elvis would always touch his head, and there's a bunch of videos online, and man, Beltre would get so pissed off. Pretty humorous, I think. That's that. Sorry, a longer video. I didn't mean to go into the double digits, but I hope y'all have an amazing weekend. And until next time, adios, be safe, bye-bye, toodles.